when you are terminating somebody for maybe not so much maybe a good culture fit, but they weren't a right fit for the box. And of course, we all know this one, right? There's the we moved them from,
performance.
yeah,
Performance issue.
we're doing it for performance, but it's we'll use the EOS method, right? Like they get it, want it, have the capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Their core value fit, culture fit. And what we want to do is we want to move them from box to box to box to box to box. Because man, Bob's a great guy.
Right.
And the problem is at the end of the day, all we're doing is making a box for the person as opposed to being strategic for the business. And then what happens is we let them go because we're frustrated that we couldn't be a leader and do the right thing. Nobody likes being fired. But at the end of the day, sometimes that is the best thing that can be done. Because if you hold on to that person for too long, you're depriving them of opportunities that exist out in the world and marketplace where they can be better. If you're on the other side of that, if you're the one that's been bounced from seat to seat to seat to seat, I would encourage you to go look elsewhere because you're probably being bounced around because they don't understand the seat. Obviously, there's some sort of like get it, want it capacity connection to what the job expectations is and your ability. And I would go find a better job.
I've also been on the receiving end of this one. I was hired as the head of product for a technology startup. Love these guys, super smart. They were doing really, really cool things in the IoT space. But we got probably 6-9 months down the road, we all started looking at each other and realizing they really needed an architect. And I'm not an architect. And I was like, guys, I wasn't good at writing code 20 years ago. Like if you need me to write code, we are both in a very bad place. And they're like, yeah, but we're a bootstrapped startup. We love you. You're a great culture fit. Like we wish there was another seat on the bus, but we can't afford you and the guy that we really need. And I'm like, yeah, that sucks. And so we shook hands and walked away. They did a good job of taking care of me and helping me network into my next role that worked out really well for me. But it does kind of suck when you're just not a good fit for the job that needs to be done.
Yep. Well, and I want to say this: if you're in a situation where you need to lay somebody off, the worst thing you can do is on Friday. Don't ever lay somebody off on a Friday. It's the worst thing you can do.
I've also been on the receiving end of that one.
Well, and let's think about it, because a lot of people go, well, if we do it on Friday, then they got the weekend to clear their head and this, that, and the other. Bullshit. Mm-mm. Every opportunity that they have to potentially look for a job is pretty much closed until Monday morning. And so all you did is give them 48 hours to panic. Whereas if you're going to let people go, do it on a Monday morning. That way they've got the rest of the week to go prospect for their next job.
Yeah, get to work.
It's a sucky situation, but you don't have to be an asshole about it. The person on the other side has a family or a livelihood or a thing. Now, if they're blatantly stealing or it's a criminal offense, like, I'm taking all that stuff off the table, and that should be the rarity, right? Like that should only, statistically, that should only be like 6% of the workforce fits into that. 94% is just not a culture fit or not a job fit.